It's crazy. Women were slave owners. Women were slave owners.
That were forced to be by their husbands.
There haven't been.
Men ran the country.
When did slavery end?
Men ran the country.
What does slavery have to do with somebody being a murderer today?
Because you're saying you're trying to say that racism has anything to do with just men did this to themselves, okay?
What are you
Racism was put onto people. Like, they're a victim of racism. Men are not a victim of being called a bad person. The majority of men are like weirdos, and they did it to themselves. The reason why people don't fuck with men is because of themselves. They did it to themselves. People did not do racism to themselves. Wait, again, what are you not understanding?
It's just completely incoherent. And again,
it's not. It's really not.
It is, because you're saying, okay, more men than women commit these crimes. Okay, cool. That opens up the conversation that can be had of more black people commit these crimes than white people. So racism is okay.
But that's also not true.
It is true. Is racism okay then?
No.
Why not?
What do you mean, why not?
Because
somebody's color
is also towards like women and men, like it's not.
And also the color of your skin. You can't. It's not your fault that that's your color of your skin.
And just because you're a man, it doesn't mean it's because you're a man that you're committing crimes.
Of course, but like people are going to judge you because. Yeah, the majority of men are weirdos and perverts. The
majority of men are not weirdos and perverts.
They are, because every time me and my friends step outside, there's not one time where a man, we come in contact with him and he's not being weird to us.
Okay, so just to be clear, have you ever been in like a crowded shopping mall?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the majority of men in that shopping mall, say things to you.
Yes.
The majority.
Yes.
What part of LA do you live in?
East LA.
What's the
near downtown?
Just curious, what's the demographic breakdown in East LA?
It's honestly a mix of everybody.
It's mixed.
All of LA.
All of LA is a pothole mix.
So I mean, I find this completely dubious. This idea that you're at a mall.
It just doesn't happen to you, so you wouldn't know.
Exactly, it just doesn't happen to you.
It just really happens to certain people.
Bro, tell you what. I want to send one of y'all down with a camera. There's a university right here.
Please, let's
There's
do it.
a school right here. We can have you guys go on campus, and I want to see 50% or more of the men saying something to you. I guarantee you could walk for 10 minutes. Nobody's saying shit to you. Nobody gives a fuck about you guys. Trust me.
Trust me, they seem to care.
Nobody's saying anything.
I've never been to this area, but I'm pretty
What's
sure.
What's the statistics for this area? Because I just saw white people.
White.
I don't know. Who? Anybody?
I'm
Nick.
Just curious.
Nick, you're a student. Yeah. Look, girls are not being fucking street harassed.
But they are.
A majority. Hold on. Yes, it occurs, but it's not over 50% of men.
Okay.
That would literally be, bro. Here.
Yeah.
I want the other women. There's other women here at the table. You're telling me when you walk down the street and you're at the mall, more than 50% of the men say something to you and are a creep. Really?
No, but when I am harassed, it is almost always by a man.
Okay, that's totally fine. But does no woman here can stand up to that the majority of men come up to you and say something creepy?
I don't think the majority of men are creeps or weirdos, but I will say when I have gotten a rude comment, which luckily hasn't been often, it has been from a man. And usually it's out of nowhere, very surprising and kind of disheartening. Like one time I went to, I don't know if not out-of-state people know about Kroger. It's Indiana's grocery store. But I had a guy make a really rude, surprising comment to me in a parking lot, and it was really hurtful.
Okay, there's no fine. Whenever you get, you get catcalled, it's by a man. That's wrong. We get it. Why are you guys justifying then, even if I grant to you all this is true? Actually, I wouldn't even grant this, like, majority of men are fucking like harassing you. That's ridiculous.
I wouldn't say majority. I would just say it happens every day. Like that's
every time I go out.
That wouldn't be a majority though.
I'm not going to say majority.
Every
I'm just going to say it just
I
happens
won't
every
say
day.
it's majority.
Yeah,
I don't think most men
because I think
are creeps.
some men are too scared to even like to.
I almost
say
want to
anything.
wager on this, but even if look, whatever, every single time you go out, some guy says something, I don't know. Also, we have to define what creepy is. Some guy shoots his shot at you somewhat politely. You're going to categorize him as creepy. Who knows?
No, it's
Even
not that.
granting every single time you go out, something happens, that wouldn't then give you justification to just across the board hate all men.
I don't hate all men.
don't
I never
hate all
said that
men.
statement.
Okay, then
I don't hate all
fine.
men.
It wouldn't give you justification to espouse anti-male rhetoric.
I don't do.
If you go on the
anti-male.
website Megan's Law, so on every area, it'll like tell you who's a registered pedophile. The majority of the people listed on that website
Thank
are
you.
male.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
And there'll be like
so what?
a bunch of them around you.
So
I think that like says something,
lot.
right?
There's a
No, it
lot.
doesn't say.
It doesn't say
hold
that
on.
the majority of men are weirdos. It says the majority of weirdos are men. Literally, that's what it says.
Okay, but we're looking at a very small proportion. We're looking at what is called the apex. A small proportion. You can't attribute to the entire group the conduct and behavior.
Okay, so you can't-
Stop. You can't attribute to the entire group the conduct and behavior of a small proportion of the group. That's bigotry.
Okay, so then I would say you can't.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
I would say you can't say the same thing about feminism and have because I have your viewpoint on feminism and mine are completely different. I don't think I'm a feminist, and I don't think that because of that I think I'm better than men, or I think I'm equal, and that's the point of feminism, to like bring me to an equal. Because at the end of the day, I'm like in today's, even today, to 2025, like I am not equal to a man. Like I can't get a job at this. A man will beat me at a job first, even if my resume is better, even if I
Not
went
true.
to a better. Yes, it is
Affirmative
true.
action. There's affirmative
No.
action, especially in the entertainment industry.
No, especially in entertainment.
No,
and the
especially-
music is man dominated.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
It's barely.
How is it male dominated when the highest paid performing artists currently are almost all women?
male dominated, meaning there's mostly men in the
who's
industry.
out
There's a
earning
small
Taylor
percentage
Swift?
Of women.
Tell me who's
Great,
out
because
earning
they're-
Taylor Swift.
We're not talking about the money. We're talking about how many are in the industry.
There's
if we're talking
plenty
about
of
numbers,
women.
okay, but if we're talking about number statistics,
There's
it's like
plenty of women.
70-30.
Perhaps that could be the case.
It is the case. I'm a musician, so I would know.
Wait, then you would expect if there's more men in the music industry that they would be the highest earners, but they're clearly not.
Because they're not like women are.
Women are
that
better.
tells you.
Okay. Anyways, there's a massive.
They're talented.
There's massive amounts of affirmative action in the entertainment industry, in all industries, plenty of affirmative action. Nothing's preventing a woman from getting a job. Also, to your point about, well, men make up the majority of this, there's plenty of crimes that I could point to that women are the majority of. I wouldn't then say because of this, because women are overrepresented in this particular crime statistics, that women generally across the board are bad or evil. I would say those specific people that there's a criminal element amongst this percentage of women, these people are bad. It's the criminals that are bad, not women as a whole. And in rebuttal to your point, not men as a whole.
I agree, not men as a whole. I will, if you recall that criticism I sent you about how men can benefit from feminism, I'll give you an example. You mentioned a lot of young male students who do get sexually harassed or by their teachers that are female, and that's a terrible thing. And sometimes I see some guys kind of have this idea, like older men, especially if you look at news articles of a female teacher who's a child that was a male student, instead of being like, that's wrong, that's bad, they're like, oh, he scored with the hot
Literally.
teacher. That's
100%.
so cool. There's even a movie about it with Adam Sandler in it, and that's really messed up.
Weird.
And I feel like with feminism, you recognize that and you hold those women accountable.
For sure, exactly.
But I think that would, that's, and I don't understand why there's a culture of men who say, oh no, you just scored with the hot older woman.
Right, but so this idea, like even some of the statistics that were referenced today, well, men are disproportionately this. The reality is, to your point, they don't even get categorized as rapists. It's like another sort of sex crime. It's an SA. But when we say, oh well, 97% of men are or 97% of rapists are men, well, if the crime itself, you can't be women, depending on the jurisdiction, can't be charged with the crime of rape, because in some of these jurisdictions there has to be like a penetrative component to be charged with rape.
And I agree. I think that is wrong, and that's what I mean about not everything's black and white. There's a lot of nuance. And
right, but again, I get that you guys want to like shit on men and point out how specific men are so terrible, blah blah blah. But my contention has always been, I'm not inclined to dispute these statistics so much as you guys can keep bringing up, okay, well, this portion of men commit these crimes. Why would that be justification for anti-male rhetoric?